Hello everybody, welcome back to the MSV Duisburg save. We have got to early March, and our March, which is a terrible use of English, our journey towards European football is well underway. Let's go and have a look. Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the save, and we're starting on the transfer page because it just shows nothing happened in January other than John Wick leaving out on loan like we said would happen to Karlsruhe. I still think that's how you pronounce it, not 100% sure. But yeah, so a huge transfer profit this season, £35-ish million profit made, which is awesome. But looking at the cup competitions, it's not as awesome as being in second, 14 points off Bayern Munich. They are just ridiculously good. But we are 2 points clear of Dortmund. We are 4 points clear of Borussia Mönchengladbach and Schalke in 4th and 5th. We are 5 points clear of Mainz, and we're 6 points clear of Cologne, which is awesome. So yeah, that march or journey onto European football is still on. It's still very much on because we're in March. We've not got many games left, just a handful of games, 4, 8, 10 games left. And yeah, I mean, January went really well. We beat Frankfurt on camera, we beat Dortmund, we beat Augsburg, we beat Bayer Leverkusen, and then they sacked Xavi Alonso, which was a little bit sad. We drew with Stuttgart, lost to Borussia Mönchengladbach, lost to Freiburg, and then beat Mainz. So we're a little bit all over the place at the moment. But yeah, I mean, February wasn't the greatest month, but hopefully March, April, and May will be superb. I mean, if we can get into the Champions League, it's a game changer. It's a game changer for money from league position finishing. It's game changer for money coming in from the Champions League. It's going to be really interesting. Now, I haven't seen your policy suggestions because I'm on holiday, so I'm recording these videos in advance. But I'm looking forward to see if there's any in the comment section around these to see what we need to do for next season. But yeah, so get your ideas in down below. But little quick check up on the squad then. Leading the goal scoring charts still Edgardo Yepes, 18 league goals in 26 appearances. In fact, that could be all competitions actually. Something I've never, is that all competitions? Yes, it is. 17 goals in 24 league games. He's just phenomenal. He's absolutely phenomenal. He has signed a new contract with a whopping £80 million release fee in it as well. So that is just holding off people from signing him at the moment, and we actually got a good number of bids, a good number of new contracts, in for players as well. Gianfranco Cornacchini is being a little bit hit or miss, but 7 goals, 4 assists, 21 in 21 appearances, 7.02 for £3 million. He's proving excellent value for money. He does have a minimum fee release clause of 49 million, but he's, that's within this range at the moment, and I feel like if we got 49 million for him, I'd probably take it. But if we get towards the end of the season, we may give him a new contract and up that substantially, or just try and remove it, to be honest. And Dean Ogilvie is another one who has been performing very, very well this season. 22 appearances, 6 goals, 4 assists, a 7.12, £14.5 million from Aberdeen. He is very good value for money. £77 million release fee. Again, it's within his budget already. If I was looking at this player, I'd be sniffing around and potentially activating that release fee if I could. So more people may be getting new contracts. But that's the goals. Leading the assist is 6 for Mehdi Gouani at left back or left midfield. He's playing reasonably well this season, the Moroccan. Getting his most appearances for us in the Bundesliga, 20 already this season, 6.91, 6 assists. But generally, our assists are being pretty spread out, which I do quite like about this system. And again, a shout out to Gaetano Castrovilli, the older statesman of the team, 32 years old. We might try and get a bit of money from Saudi Arabia for him because I think he was a good stopgap this season. He's brought expertise, consistency, and he's done a really good job. But, it's Football Manager. People don't like players over the age of 32 in Football Manager. So we'll see what happens. But he is a perfectionist, so he's probably good to keep around in that sense. But yeah, all in all, a very, very good season so far. Hoping we can keep it going. Adrian Hill, or Gill, he's still here. This was a USA under-21 signing that we had to do. We did him from Barcelona, bought him in, and he's not been too bad. This season he's had 1 appearance and just completely messed it up. I was hoping that DC United might make that loan move permanent because they played him so much, but they didn't. So yeah, we'll see what's going on. I mean, his contract, he's got 1 more year on his contract. We'll try and sell him in the summer. I think an MLS club will probably come in for him for his wages. Maybe a stumbling block, 'cause he is on 14 grand a week with us at the moment. And Luka Zahovic came back from Portugal and then was still missing Portugal, so we've said he can go back to Portugal. Ideally, I'd like to just keep him around as a sort of coach, but I don't think he wants to do that afterwards because, yeah, it's a little bit irritating. I want to just keep him for as long as possible, but you know, these things don't happen, do they? They just don't happen in this game. A quick check-up with Senegal. Not too much has happened anyway, because we're still waiting for this year's fixtures to start, which will be later on in March. But we haven't lost our job yet, because there's been no more games, so no more updates for Rahul Bar to see if he's going to ever be Senegal's top goal scorer, which is highly unlikely, because he's only scored 5 goals for them. But yes, today's episode we're going to be taking on VfL Bochum, who are actually near the bottom of the table. It wasn't planned like that. In fact, they're bottom of the table. It wasn't planned like that. It was just that's when we came back at the beginning of March. I thought that would be a good time to sort of break it up. We go back at the beginning of January, we'll come back at the beginning of March, and then we'll come back in mid-May for the final game of the season. So, yeah, let's crack on and play Bochum, because there's not too much else to discuss. You'll notice these videos are a little bit shorter. I want to keep this series going and try and wrap it up and keep your guys' interest, and shorter videos generally seem to do better on YouTube at the moment for Football Manager, but we'll see how that goes. So we'll be back for the Bochum game, which should be a good win and a bounce back to form, really. That's what I'm sort of expecting. I love the fact Luka Zahovic gets a training rating even though we've allowed him to go to Portugal. Like, have we sent a coach with him that's keeping us updated with how he's getting on in Portugal? That seems a bit weird, but yeah. Anyway, Bochum coming up, and then our run-in isn't too bad. Like, we've got Schalke, we've got Bayern Munich. Other than that, and Leipzig, I missed Leipzig off. But of those three, and then the rest of them are teams that we can perform well against and get goals. Ilham Ndiaye's form for Olympique Marseille means he should get back in the Senegal team. Yeah, but he plays where Rahul Bar plays, so no. Like, he's not going to replace Rahul Bar. Understand that, press. You need to understand that. Right, let's get into this game then, and we will pick the team. So Radek Vitek is still our first choice goalkeeper at the moment, so he goes in between the sticks. Jose Valencia will start at right back. We'll go with Kielsen and Gomez again at the back, and the left back will be Bayer Ndiaye, who's slowly becoming one of my favourites in this save. I know we've only had him for half a season, but 20 years old, he looks incredible, he plays really well. Like, he's going to be class, he's going to be really good, and it was a free transfer, which makes it even better. As the ball-winning midfielder, we'll put in Rocco Reitz is back. Let's give Rocco Reitz a game in there. Brian Trulio. Yeah, you're not a ball winner. It's anyway, box to box. That's what I'm looking at now. Let's go Castrovilli in there again as box to box. Bring the experience. Starting on the left-hand side, we will put Mehid Gouini in there. On the right, we will start. Well, Yepes is going to be up front, obviously. That's a given. And it's going to be Ogiliv in behind in the playmaker role. And then on the right-hand side, I mean, do we mix it up a bit? Do we make some changes for the sake of it? Or do we just stick with what we know works, which is Cornacini? Let's just stick with what we know works, and Cornacini can go out there. So on the bench, we'll go Wagner, we'll go Romero. The team pretty much picks itself. Berrio goes on the bench. Trulio goes on the sense. Jesse Prevot goes on the bench. That would be Pre with that accent, I think. Prevot. Tom Snoke will go with Lozano. Oh, we don't have a centre-back because Lima's injured, as is Tello. Ooh. Let's dive into the under-19s and see who we can potentially give a game. Hiran Graf, I think, has been highly rated in the under-19s. Welcome, sir. Come and get a bench place for the senior team as a centre-back option. I like that. And we'll go with... I don't want to put Adrian Hill on there. It's just out of principle. I don't want him on there now. We could go Lars. Let's go Lars, who's not had too much football, but hasn't been kicking up too much of a fuss either. Right, that's the team. Let's get into the game to go and take on VfL Bochum. And hopefully, as I said, get back to winning ways, get back to form, and have a good run in towards the end of the season. So, I want you to pick up where you left off last time. It wasn't an amazing performance in the last game, but the faith has sorted it out. The faith with the pump fists has sorted it out. So we know that we're going to be lining up in our Noah's Ark 4-4-1-1 sort of system. They're lining up in a 4-3-3, one of the best systems you can use on Football Manager, in my opinion. But yeah, 4-1-4-1, DM, asymmetric, AMR. That's what is written in the program notes. There's Carlos Victoriano shaking hands with the manager. And yeah, looking good. Let's get into the game, as we're going to get a highlight straight from kickoff. And we've given the ball away nice and early. Lovely. Noki into Bisek. Ibanez goes back to Muller. Out to Noki again. Serge Gnabry playing down at the team at the bottom of the Bundesliga. Oh, Granny, great rob there. Into Yepes. Yepes cuts it back. It's blocked. Shot from range. It's Rocco Reitz. We brought him back into the starting lineup for this game. And he has made it 1-0. And I've got a feeling their goalkeeper is our ex-goalkeeper. It may well be. We had a Muller in goal at the beginning of this save, and I wonder if he's made the step up to play for Bochum. So we'll have a look at that. If we just pause this, is it him? No, it's not. It's a different Muller. It's a different Miller. He didn't play for us. I was getting all excited then that we're going to play against one of our old players that we played against. But it's 1-0 up inside the first minute. So what a start that is to the game. Lovely on camera as well. Osterhag, Ibanez. Noki into Gnabry. I'm going to assume that's Serge Gnabry, who's given it away. Oh, and Yepes couldn't score. Should have been 2-0, really. Really should have been 2-0 that. But yeah, look at this. Absolutely dominating the game. We'll give them praise. The team is bottom of the league, Bochum, so we really should be battering them. But if we can keep that gap above Dortmund, this would put us 4 points clear of Dortmund, which would be absolutely massive. It really would. At this point of the season, it's such a good mental sort of place to have in the team that you know you're the second best team in Germany behind Bayern. And if we can then just start reeling them in as Castrovilli's got injured, bloody hell. Berio on for Castrovilli. It's a pretty easy swap. We've actually got an injury there to Konarchi as well. So we'll bring on Jesse Prevot and we'll move Valencia up. I don't like having injured players on the pitch, especially when they're quite crucial ones. Hopefully Castrovilli isn't out for too long. We'll get that news after the game. But 1-0 up, 5 minutes to go in half-time. They've yet to have a shot. And we are dominating this game. Here's Knock into who I assume is Serge Gnabry. Knock into Gnabry again. Muller gives it back to Gnabry, who's sort of playing as this wing-back role. Wouldn't have pictured him doing that in his youth, let alone now when he's going to be an older player. But Vitek out into Kielsen. Round the corner. Ogliv, good first touch. He comes forward, but tackled well by Oliveros. Muller goes long. It's headed down very well. Miramon picks it up. Gnabry's there. Ball in. Schmidt, Miramon. It's a great move. It's a great goal from Bochum. It's a really, really good goal. Started with a long punt forward that was knocked down from one striker to the other. Miramon, it's a really good bit of movement, actually. Gnabry comes in, ball through. First time pass into Miramon. And, well, Vitek not covering himself in glory just before half-time. One shot on target, one goal, it seems like, for Bochum, which is very annoying. 2 shots on target, 1 goal. So can't say they've been incredible. 50% clinicality. Keep going. We'll get the win. And I think we're going to not shout at the attackers. They're playing right. Let's shout at the defence. It's been woeful. Okay, everyone seemed pretty good about that. So I feel like conceding a goal from there is pretty harsh as it's headed away from Ibanez. In fact, we could still go opposition instructions. Oh, hang on, I need to know. I'm going to assume. Is it? Hang on, it is Serge Gnabry. It is Serge Gnabry playing in their 4-3-3 system on the wing. Good interception as Berio goes back to Kielsen. Plevo finds Ndai. Here's Berio again. Reitz brings it forward. Valencia, Ogliv, Berio. What a move this is. Gueni out to Valencia. Valencia shoots. It's a goal. It's a deflected goal. I think he's onside, but it was a lovely passing move. It really was. And it is given. It's 2-1. Valencia into Ogliv. Ogliv to Berio. Gueni just went for them the long diagonal. He was onside. And I think, yeah, there's a little deflection that takes it past Muller. But it's a great start to the second half to be 2-1 up in this one against Bochum. And I think we're going to go with Demar Moore. Don't rest on your laurels. Get a 2-goal lead. That is what we want. Right, they do have Noki is the ball player. So if they're going to try and play it out from the back, then please stop them. But even if they don't, every time he gets on the ball, go and tightly mark him, actually. I was going to say smash him, but we're not aggressively tackling. Guaini, oh my word, he's rattled the bar from range. What an effort that was. Ball in, it's bouncing around. Muller claims it. 2-1 still in this game. We're not lacking too much fitness either. We may go for a pair of fresh legs up front. We'll take Yepes off and bring on Romero up there to start. And that's 2 or 3 stoppages. Yes, we've got 1 more stoppage with 2 more subs. If we need to. We may freshen up left back actually. And Ndai's not having his best game at the moment. Let's freshen up that whole left-hand side with our 2 remaining subs. So Bayer and Ndai can come off. We will give Hiran Graf a run out there. And then Thomas Wagner can come on for Guaini. And Romero sticks down here and does that. Inverted winger. He's right-footed, so he'll suit that position well. 2-1 up with 10 minutes to go. And we are holding on to that second place spot, which is lovely. 11 points behind Bayern Munich, who have a game in hand. Leipzig down there in 10th with 2 games in hand on us, but they're not going to be able to catch us if they win both. As we tick down, it's going to be potentially another 1-0 or a 1-goal win, which we had as back-to-back games on camera. 1-goal win, 13 shots to 6, 6 on target to 3, a whopping XG compared to theirs. They had more possession, but that doesn't bother us. And yeah, we played well. They got back into it in the second half, but I do like that. I do like that. I don't know where I went with that sentence, but we do like that. And that is a good win. That's a good second place. We're still on for second place. So Castrovilli is only out for 3 days. He had to be subbed off because of a bruised ankle. That's a bit rubbish. I mean, 2 bruised ankles in the same game, and Graf came on and yeah, he got a debut. He doesn't look too bad. He looks pretty slow. I mean, he is more of a centre back than a right back or left back that we brought on, but yeah, not too bad at all. Right, we are into the final stages of this season. And next up will be the final game of the season against Eintracht Frankfurt again, who we played at the beginning of January. We'll be finishing our season against them, and hopefully we get another win against them as well, which is lovely. Right, so we're going to play all of these off camera. Hopefully when we come back, we've secured Champions League football. But thank you so much for watching. Get your policy suggestions down below. I'll put the votes out while I'm on holiday as I get these coming through. But thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you soon. Cheers.